In every corner of the world, across the span of human history, religion has played a profound role in shaping the destinies of civilizations and the lives of individuals. From the ancient rites performed at Stonehenge to the intricate rituals of the Hindu Kumbh Mela, the quest for spiritual meaning and understanding has been a universal human experience. But what compels us to turn to religion? Is it the fear of the unknown, the hope for a better afterlife, or the search for moral guidance? An overview of world religions delves into these questions, exploring the common threads that bind diverse religious traditions. This journey is not just about understanding different beliefs but appreciating how these beliefs influence everything from art and law to personal moral decisions and global conflicts. By examining the shared elements of religions, such as the concept of the sacred, the practice of worship, and the role of community, we can gain insights into why religion remains a central part of human life despite the advances of science and technology. As we explore these themes, we'll hear from various voices, scholars, believers, skeptics, each providing a unique perspective on what religion means and how it shapes our world. Join us as we uncover the enduring power of faith in human history and its potential to guide us in the future. Hinduism, one of the oldest living religions in the world, offers a profound spirituality that permeates the lives of over 1 billion followers. With roots stretching back over 4,000 years, this dynamic faith system transcends the conventional boundaries of religion, infusing daily routines, social structures, and spiritual pursuits with a unique and enduring wisdom. The journey of Hinduism begins in the Bronze Age with the Indus Valley Civilization. Around 1500 BCE, the arrival of the Aryans in India marked the beginning of the Vedic period, characterized by the composition of the Vedas, Hinduism's older sacred texts. These texts laid the foundational beliefs and practices that would evolve into the complex, pluralistic religion we see today. The Vedas form the bedrock of Hindu religious thought. Alongside these are the Upanishads, which explore the inner meaning of the Vedic rituals and introduce concepts like Brahman, the universal soul, and Atman, the individual soul. The epic tales of the Mahabharata and Ramayana, including the Bhagavad Gita, not only entertain but also offer deep philosophical insights. These texts address the human condition, duty, righteousness, and the paths to liberation. In Hinduism, the pantheon of gods and goddesses embodies various aspects of life and the universe. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva represent the creator, preserver, and destroyer roles. Goddesses like Sarasvati, Lakshmi, and Durga play crucial roles in worship and mythology, each adding to the rich tapestry of divine narratives that guide and enrich the lives of devotees. At the heart of Hindu philosophy lie the concepts of dharma, righteousness, duty, karma, action and its consequences, and moksha, liberation from the cycle of rebirth. These principles are not just philosophical ideals but practical aspects that affect ethical decisions and life choices in the daily lives of Hindus. Hinduism incorporates an elaborate range of rituals, from daily worship, puja, at home and temple ceremonies to vibrant festivals like Diwali and Holi, which reinforce the communal and cyclic nature of life according to Hindu beliefs. Pilgrimages to sacred rivers and temples are seen as acts of devotion that purify the soul and bring one closer to the divine. The impact of Hinduism on Indian society is profound. While it has been criticized for perpetuating the caste system, Hinduism also offers a framework for understanding one's place in the world and duties to family and community. Contemporary movements within Hinduism strive to address and reform social practices for modern relevancy. Hindu festivals, rich in color and emotion, serve as the public expression of the religion's heart. They are times of renewal, celebration, and remembrance, whether honoring the seasons, divine events, or sacred deities. These festivals not only bind communities but also attract interest from around the globe, showcasing the vibrancy of Hindu culture. Hindu philosophy is broadly categorized into 6 orthodox schools, each exploring different aspects of religion and life. Sectarian movements like Shaivism, Vaishnavism, and Shaktism focus on specific deities and philosophical interpretations, illustrating the diversity within Hindu unity. Context: as the world becomes more interconnected, Hinduism's influence extends beyond India's borders, affecting global spirituality, interfaith dialogues, and cultural exchanges. Western societies have embraced aspects of Hindu culture, such as yoga and meditation, highlighting its universal appeal. In this comprehensive exploration, we see Hinduism as a living, breathing tradition, continuously adapting to the needs of its followers while retaining its core philosophies. As one of humanity's oldest religions, it offers insights into the spiritual, the ethical, and the divine that are as relevant today as they were millennia ago. Buddhism, a spiritual path established over 2,500 years ago in ancient India, offers a transformative journey toward enlightenment. It has influenced millions of lives, encouraging individuals to seek inner peace and liberation from suffering. This exploration invites readers to delve into the life of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, and the profound teachings that have inspired diverse cultures across the globe. The early life of Siddhartha Gautama. Siddhartha Gautama was born around 563 BC in Lumbini, present-day Nepal, into a royal family of the Sakya clan. His father, King Suddhodana, and mother, Queen Maya, shielded him from the harsh realities of life, providing him with luxury and comfort. The prophecy surrounding Siddhartha foretold that he would either become a great king or a revered spiritual leader. In a bid to secure his son's future as a ruler, King Suddhodana indulged Siddhartha with every earthly pleasure, surrounding him with beauty and keeping him isolated from the suffering of the world. Despite his father's efforts, Siddhartha's innate curiosity eventually led him to venture outside the palace walls. His encounters with the realities of life, the old man, the sick man, the dead body, and the ascetic, served as pivotal moments that opened his eyes to the impermanence of life and the suffering inherent in existence. These experiences ignited a profound spiritual quest within him, ultimately leading him to renounce his royal privileges. The 4 encounters and the quest for truth. The turning point of Siddhartha's life occurred during his excursions beyond the palace. Witnessing an old man frail with age, a sick person suffering from illness, and a corpse being carried for cremation struck him with the harsh realities of mortality. These encounters deepened his understanding of suffering and impermanence, propelling him toward a search for truth. Siddhartha's final encounter with an ascetic inspired him to leave behind his life of luxury and embark on a journey of spiritual exploration. He sought enlightenment through rigorous ascetic practices, immersing himself in the world of renunciation. For 6 years, he subjected himself to extreme fasting and self-denial, believing that through physical deprivation, he could attain a higher state of consciousness. The Great Departure and Years of Asceticism. Siddhartha's renunciation marked the beginning of his intense spiritual journey. He left the palace under the cover of night, donning the simple robes of an ascetic. His determination led him to join a group of ascetics, where he practiced extreme austerities. However, as the years passed, he realized that enlightenment could not be achieved through self-inflicted suffering alone. Starving and weak, Siddhartha discovered the middle way, a path of moderation that eschewed both indulgence and extreme asceticism. This revelation was a pivotal moment in his journey, leading him to abandon his harsh practices in favor of a balanced approach to life. He began to regain his strength and clarity of mind, setting the stage for the transformative experience that awaited him. The awakening under the Bodhi tree. The moment of Siddhartha's enlightenment occurred under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India. After years of searching, he resolved not to move until he attained understanding. This period of deep meditation culminated in a confrontation with Mara, the embodiment of desire and illusion. Mara attempted to distract Siddhartha with temptations, but Siddhartha remained steadfast in his focus. As he meditated, Siddhartha experienced profound insights into the nature of existence. He came to understand the Four Noble Truths, the essence of the Buddha's teachings regarding the reality of suffering, its causes, the possibility of its cessation, and the path leading to liberation. With this realization, Siddhartha attained nirvana, transforming him into the Buddha, meaning the awakened one. This awakening marked a significant spiritual shift, as he now possessed the wisdom to guide others toward liberation. The first teachings, the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. Following his enlightenment, the Buddha began to share his insights with others. He delivered his first sermon in Sarnath, where he introduced the Four Noble Truths. These truths form the foundation of Buddhist philosophy. The truth of suffering, dukkha, acknowledging that suffering is an inherent part of life. The truth of the cause of suffering, samadaya, identifying desire and attachment as the root causes of suffering. The truth of the cessation of suffering, nirodha, understanding that it is possible to end suffering through the cessation of desire. The truth of the path to the cessation of suffering, magga, outlining the Eightfold Path as a guide to ethical and mental development. The Eightfold Path consists of the following components. Right understanding, grasping the nature of reality and the truth of the Four Noble Truths. Right intention, cultivating an intention of love and compassion, free from ill will and desire. Right speech, speaking truthfully and harmoniously, avoiding harmful words. Right action, acting ethically and responsibly, refraining from harm. Right livelihood, engaging in work that does not harm others and contributes to well-being. Right effort, cultivating positive states of mind and eliminating unwholesome ones. Right mindfulness, developing awareness of the body, feelings, thoughts, and phenomena. Right concentration, practicing meditation to achieve mental focus and tranquility. The Sangha and the growth of the Buddhist community. As the Buddha's teachings attracted followers, the Sangha, or monastic community, began to form. The Buddha welcomed individuals from all walks of life, men and women, rich and poor, creating an inclusive community that transcended societal boundaries. The Sangha served as a model for companionship on the spiritual path, emphasizing the importance of support and community in spiritual growth. The Buddha traveled extensively, sharing his insights and establishing monasteries as centers of learning and practice. His teachings spread rapidly, attracting diverse individuals who sought guidance and understanding. The establishment of the Sangha laid the groundwork for the growth of Buddhism as a global faith. Buddhism's expansion across Asia. Buddhism quickly spread beyond India, reaching new regions and cultures. As traders and travelers moved along the Silk Road, they carried Buddhist ideas and texts, adapting them to local customs and beliefs. This cultural exchange gave rise to distinct branches of Buddhism, including Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. In Sri Lanka, Buddhism took root as the state religion, while in China, it blended with Confucianism and Taoism, leading to the development of unique schools of thought. The emergence of Zen Buddhism in Japan, emphasizing meditation and simplicity, reflected the adaptability of Buddhism to different cultural contexts. Key figures, such as Emperor Ashoka, played crucial roles in the spread of Buddhism. After converting to Buddhism, Ashoka actively promoted its teachings and established stupas and monasteries across his empire. His efforts significantly contributed to Buddhism's expansion throughout Asia. Major branches of Buddhism, Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. Each major branch of Buddhism developed distinct teachings and practices. Theravada, often referred to as the School of the Elders, Theravada focuses on the earliest teachings of the Buddha. It places strong emphasis on monastic life and personal meditation, encouraging followers to pursue individual enlightenment. Mahayana, known as the Great Vehicle, Mahayana Buddhism introduced the Bodhisattva ideal. Practitioners aspire to achieve enlightenment not only for themselves but also to help others attain liberation. Vajrayana, predominantly practiced in Tibet, Vajrayana, or Diamond Vehicle, integrates ritual, tantra, and visualizations as part of the path to enlightenment. This branch emphasizes the importance of guru devotion and esoteric practices. Each tradition continues to thrive in modern societies, attracting followers through its unique interpretations of the Buddha's teachings. Buddhist rituals and practices. Buddhism encompasses a rich array of rituals and practices. Meditation forms the cornerstone of Buddhist life, with various techniques employed across traditions. Vipassana, insight meditation, promotes awareness of thoughts and sensations, while Zen emphasizes mindfulness and simplicity. Rituals, such as chanting, prostration, and offerings, serve to deepen one's connection to the teachings and cultivate a sense of reverence. These practices provide opportunities for reflection, fostering mindfulness and ethical living. The role of monasteries and monks. Monasteries play a vital role in preserving and transmitting Buddhist teachings. Monks adhere to the Vinaya, a monastic code that outlines ethical conduct and discipline. Their daily lives involve studying, teaching, and serving the community, providing support for lay practitioners. The monastic lifestyle attracts individuals seeking a deeper spiritual commitment, offering a structured environment for growth and practice. Personal stories from monks and nuns often highlight the transformative power of monastic life. Buddhist art and iconography. Buddhist art has flourished across cultures, serving as a means of expression and communication. From early stupas and statues of the Buddha to elaborate tankas in Tibetan Buddhism, art reflects the principles of beauty, simplicity, and inner peace. Common icons, such as the lotus flower, symbolize purity and enlightenment, while the Dharma wheel represents the teachings of the Buddha. Mudras, or hand gestures, convey specific meanings and are integral to Buddhist iconography. Modern Buddhism and secular adaptations. As Buddhism spreads globally, it has taken on new forms, adapting to contemporary needs. Secular Buddhism emphasizes mindfulness practices and ethical living, appealing to individuals seeking personal growth without the religious framework. Movements like mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, showcase Buddhism's relevance in modern psychology and education. These adaptations address contemporary challenges, making the teachings accessible to non-religious audiences. Personal transformations, how Buddhism changes lives. Buddhism offers a path to personal growth and transformation. Many individuals share stories of how adopting Buddhist practices has positively impacted their lives. From stress reduction to improved relationships, these narratives illustrate the profound effects of mindfulness and compassion. Challenges and the future of Buddhism. Buddhism faces various challenges, including commercialization, the preservation of traditional values, and maintaining relevance in rapidly changing societies. The global Buddhist community actively works to address these issues, ensuring the continuity of sacred texts, practices, and teachings for future generations. Conclusion. Buddhism's lasting impact and universal message of compassion, mindfulness, and liberation from suffering continue to resonate with individuals seeking peace and understanding in an uncertain world. The Buddha's teachings offer timeless wisdom, guiding individuals on their journeys toward enlightenment and inner fulfillment. Judaism stands as one of the oldest monotheistic religions in the world, deeply rooted in the covenantal relationship between God and the Hebrew patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is a faith characterized by a profound sense of community and continuity, where rituals and holidays not only commemorate ancient events but also reinforce the ongoing commitment of its adherents to their beliefs. This history traces the evolution of Judaism from its biblical beginnings through its major texts and practices, examining the key figures and events that have shaped this enduring faith. The biblical beginnings. The journey of Judaism begins with Abraham, regarded as the first patriarch. His story is pivotal, as it establishes the Jewish people as God's chosen. According to the biblical narrative, God called Abraham to leave his homeland and promised him that he would be the father of a great nation. This covenant not only set the stage for the lineage of the Jewish people but also emphasized the foundational relationship between God and humanity. Abraham's trials are significant, particularly the binding of Isaac, where God tests Abraham's faith by commanding him to sacrifice his son. This moment highlights themes of faith, obedience, and the complexity of the covenant relationship. Following Abraham, the narrative shifts to Isaac and Jacob, who continue the legacy of their father, further defining the character and identity of the Israelites. The story continues with Moses, a central figure in Judaism. His dramatic rescue as a baby from the Nile River and subsequent rise to leadership marks a critical transition in the Jewish narrative. Moses leads the Israelites out of Egyptian bondage, receiving the Torah at Mount Sinai, which contains the laws and commandments that would guide the Israelites. This experience not only solidifies the covenant relationship between God and the people but also establishes a communal identity centered around shared beliefs and practices. The Torah and the Tanakh. Central to Jewish life is the Torah, consisting of the 5 books of Moses, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. The Torah serves as the foundation of Jewish law, moral guidance, and spiritual wisdom. It encapsulates the covenantal relationship and is recited and studied in synagogues throughout the world. The broader canon, known as the Tanakh, includes the Nevi'im, prophets, and Ketuvim, writings. The Nevi'im narrate the history of the Israelites and convey the messages of prophets who guided and admonished the people. The Ketuvim comprises various literary forms, including poetry, philosophy, and historical accounts, providing a rich tapestry of Jewish thought and culture. Together, these texts form the bedrock of Jewish identity and provide insights into the community's relationship with God. The role of prophets. The prophets of Judaism played crucial roles in shaping the spiritual and ethical landscape of the Jewish people. Figures such as Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel emerged during times of crisis, offering guidance, warnings, and hope. Their messages often included vivid imagery and profound moral lessons that resonate to this day. Prophets called for justice, compassion, and adherence to the covenant, serving as intermediaries between God and the people. Their teachings not only influenced religious thought but also shaped societal norms, emphasizing the importance of ethical conduct and social responsibility within the Jewish community. Development of Jewish law and thought. Following the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE, Jewish religious life underwent significant transformation. With the loss of the central place of worship, Judaism adapted to survive and thrive in a new context. This era gave rise to the Mishnah and later the Talmud, critical texts that reinterpret and elaborate on the Torah's laws. The Mishnah, compiled around 200 CE, organizes oral traditions and legal rulings, providing a framework for Jewish law, halacha. The Talmud, which includes the Mishnah and rabbinical commentaries, further explores these laws and their applications. These texts became essential for Jewish life, guiding religious practice and ethical behavior across generations. Medieval philosophers, notably Maimonides, contributed to the intellectual tradition of Judaism, emphasizing the harmony between faith and reason. Maimonides' work, The Guide for the Perplexed, aimed to reconcile Jewish teachings with philosophical inquiry, influencing Jewish thought well into modernity. The diaspora and Jewish life outside Israel. From the Babylonian exile to the Roman dispersal, the Jewish diaspora has faced various challenges while maintaining its identity. Despite being scattered across different regions, Jews preserve their traditions and practices through communal structures and the establishment of synagogues as centers of worship and learning. Adherence to Halacha provided a sense of continuity and connection to the Jewish homeland. Rituals, dietary laws, and the observance of the Sabbath became cornerstones of Jewish life, allowing communities to foster a shared identity in often hostile environments. Jewish rituals and observances. Jewish life is characterized by a rich tapestry of rituals and observances. These practices punctuate daily life and include the wearing of the kippah, dietary laws known as kashrut, and communal prayers in synagogues. The Sabbath, Shabbat, a weekly day of rest, serves as a profound reminder of the covenant between God and the Jewish people. It is a time for reflection, family, and community gatherings, allowing individuals to reconnect with their faith and heritage. Major Jewish holidays also embody the rich cultural and spiritual dimensions of Judaism. Passover commemorates the Exodus from Egypt, emphasizing themes of freedom and redemption. Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, invites introspection and repentance, highlighting the importance of personal and communal accountability. Jewish mysticism and Hasidism. The mystical dimensions of Judaism, particularly through Kabbalah, have fascinated both Jews and non-Jews alike. Kabbalah offers insights into the nature of God and the universe, emphasizing the importance of spiritual practices and personal experience in connecting with the divine. The rise of Hasidism in Eastern Europe during the 18th century introduced a pietistic approach that emphasized the heart's role in spiritual life. Hasidic teachings promote a joyous and personal connection with God, often expressed through dance, music, and communal worship. This movement has profoundly impacted Jewish life and culture, encouraging inclusivity and emotional engagement with faith. Modern Judaism and its branches. Modern Judaism is characterized by a spectrum of religious expression. The three major branches, Orthodox, Reform, and Conservative, each interpret Jewish law and tradition differently. Orthodox Judaism adheres strictly to halacha and traditional practices, viewing the Torah as divine and unchanging. In contrast, Reform Judaism embraces a more flexible interpretation, adapting Jewish practices to contemporary life while emphasizing ethical principles over strict adherence to law. Conservative Judaism seeks a middle ground, maintaining commitment to tradition while allowing for some adaptations. Judaism in the modern world. Judaism today interacts dynamically with modernity. Challenges such as secularism, interfaith relations, and the impact of the Holocaust on Jewish identity have shaped contemporary Jewish thought and practice. Jewish thinkers, scientists, and artists have made significant contributions to global culture, from the realm of philosophy to literature and social justice movements. Organizations advocating for human rights and social change often draw from Jewish ethical teachings, demonstrating the enduring relevance of Judaism in addressing contemporary issues. The State of Israel and Jewish identity. The founding of the State of Israel in 1948 marked a pivotal moment in Jewish history. Israel serves not only as a homeland for Jews worldwide but also as a symbol of resilience and continuity. This section explores the relationship between Jews in Israel and those in the diaspora, highlighting the complexities of identity, belonging, and community in a globalized world. Conclusion. Judaism's enduring nature is a testament to its ability to adapt through centuries while maintaining a strong sense of tradition and community. The role of faith, ritual, and shared identity continues to resonate deeply within Jewish life, emphasizing how ancient teachings remain relevant in a rapidly changing world. The dynamic spirit of the Jewish people is reflected in their ongoing commitment to their heritage, values, and the quest for justice and understanding in an increasingly complex society. Christianity, which began as a small Jewish sect in the heartlands of what is now Israel, has grown over 2 millennia to become the world's largest religion, deeply influencing the cultural, social, and political fabric of societies worldwide. This exploration traces Christianity from its humble beginnings through its evolution into the major branches we see today: Roman Catholicism, Eastern Orthodoxy, and Protestantism, touching on its core doctrines, seminal events, and key figures. Historical context: in the bustling, diverse landscapes of first-century Palestine under Roman rule, a figure emerged whose teachings would irrevocably alter world history. Born in Bethlehem, raised in Nazareth, Jesus of Nazareth lived under the complexities of Roman occupation and Jewish anticipation of a Messiah. Ministry of Jesus: Jesus' public ministry began with his baptism by John the Baptist. His teachings, miracles, and parables, from the Sermon on the Mount to the feeding of the 5,000, challenged existing religious practices, emphasizing a direct relationship with God, love, mercy, and forgiveness. Core teachings central to Jesus' message were the Beatitudes, the commandment to love one another, and the promise of the kingdom of God, principles that questioned social norms and invited a radical reconsideration of relationships, both with the divine and one another. Crucifixion and resurrection: the narrative of Jesus' betrayal, crucifixion, death, and subsequent resurrection form the cornerstone of Christian faith, embodying the doctrines of salvation and eternal life, and providing a profound testament to the belief in life overcoming death. Formation of the Church: following the resurrection, the apostles, including Peter and Paul, became pivotal figures in spreading Jesus' teachings. The Pentecost, where followers felt the Holy Spirit descend upon them, marked the birth of the early Church, empowering them to begin their mission. Key events and persecutions: the early Christians faced significant persecutions from Roman authorities and skepticism from Jewish leaders, yet Christianity continued to spread via missionary journeys and the conversion of key figures, such as Paul's transformative experience on the road to Damascus. Spread of Christianity: Christianity's reach extended through the Roman Empire and beyond, facilitated by the empire's roads and peace, and the missionaries' use of Greek and later Latin, which helped bridge cultural gaps and articulate the Christian message. Early controversies and councils: debates on the nature of Christ and his divinity led to the first 7 ecumenical councils, which were instrumental in defining Orthodox Christian theology, including the doctrine of the Trinity and Christ's dual nature as fully divine and fully human. Formation of the canon: by the 4th century, the Christian community recognized the canonical texts, which constituted the New Testament, offering an authoritative scriptural foundation for Christian beliefs and practices. Establishment of the Creed: the Nicene Creed, established to codify Christian doctrine in response to Arianism, remains a universal proclamation of faith among most Christian denominations. Split into Roman Catholicism and Eastern Orthodoxy. Great Schism: political, theological, and liturgical differences culminated in 1054 CE with the mutual excommunications of the Pope in Rome and the Patriarch of Constantinople, formalizing the split between Western, Roman Catholic, and Eastern, Orthodox, branches of Christianity. Distinctive theologies: this section would compare the theological, liturgical, and organizational distinctions that characterize Roman Catholicism and Eastern Orthodoxy, including the role of the Pope versus the more collegial structure of the Orthodox churches. The Protestant Reformation. Causes of the Reformation: by the 16th century, calls for reform within the Roman Catholic Church culminated in the Protestant Reformation, sparked by figures like Martin Luther, whose 95 Theses criticized church practices and doctrine, leading to the establishment of various Protestant churches. Expansion of Protestantism: this movement radically changed the religious, cultural, and political landscape of Europe, leading to religious wars, the restructuring of societies, and significant migrations. Missionary movements: from the Jesuits in Asia and Latin America to Protestant missionaries in Africa and the Pacific, Christianity's global spread was often intertwined with European colonialism, leading to complex interactions with local cultures and religions. Modern developments. Today, Christianity faces both decline and growth, with decreasing numbers in traditionally strong areas like Europe, while expanding rapidly in the global South, Africa, Asia, and Latin America. The Trinity, salvation, and sacraments. This section delves into the interpretation of these concepts across different denominations, explaining their theological significance and the implications for religious practice. Reflect on Christianity's journey from a modest Jewish sect to a global faith, influencing billions and adapting to myriad cultural contexts. Discuss the ongoing relevance of Jesus Christ's teachings in addressing contemporary challenges and the faith's role in a diverse, interconnected world. Islam, meaning submission to the will of Allah, is not just one of the world's major monotheistic religions but also a complete way of life for its followers. With over 1 billion adherents, Islam shapes personal lives, cultural norms, legal systems, and historical narratives across continents. This series will explore the origins of Islam, the life of its prophet, Muhammad, the teachings of the Quran, the practice of the 5 pillars, the historical schism between Sunni and Shia, as well as Islam's profound influence on global culture and science. The life of Prophet Muhammad. Early life. In the bustling trade city of Mecca, Muhammad was born into the respected tribe of Quraysh. Often early, he was known for his integrity, earning the nickname Al-Amin, or the Trustworthy. His marriage to Khadija, a wealthy merchant, marked the beginning of a life characterized by deep contemplation and spiritual pursuit. Revelation of the Quran. At the age of 40, in the solitude of the Hira cave, Muhammad received the first of Allah's revelations through the angel Gabriel. These revelations, which continued for 23 years, would later be compiled into the Quran, providing guidance and regulation for Muslim personal conduct, community practice, and moral philosophy. Establishment of Islam. As Muhammad began preaching in Mecca, he faced increasing persecution, prompting his migration, Hijrah, to Medina in 622 CE, a pivotal event that not only marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar but also the establishment of the first Muslim community under his leadership. Medina and expansion. In Medina, Muhammad crafted a societal model that unified various tribes under Islamic governance. His leadership extended to military, political, and spiritual realms, culminating in the eventual conquest of Mecca and the consolidation of Islam in the Arabian Peninsula. Death and legacy. Muhammad's death in 632 CE did not halt the spread of his teachings. The decades following saw Islam expand beyond Arabia through conquest and trade, deeply influencing regional and global histories. Core Islamic beliefs and practices. The Quran. Muslims believe the Quran to be the literal word of God, a complete guide for life. Its 114 chapters, surahs, cover law, morality, and spirituality, and it remains a constant in the daily lives of Muslims. The 5 pillars of Islam. These practices constitute the framework of a Muslim's faith and actions. Shahada, the profession of faith, declaring there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. Salat, 5 daily prayers that structure the day and reinforce the link between the worshipper and Allah. Zakat, almsgiving as an act of purification and a means to redistribute wealth within the Muslim community. Sawm, fasting during Ramadan serves as a time for self-purification and spiritual reflection. Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca, required once in a lifetime for those who are able, is a profound expression of Islamic faith and unity. Sunni and Shia Islam. Origins of the split. The death of Muhammad led to a crucial dispute over his rightful successor, dividing the Muslim community into Sunni and Shia. Sunnis favored Abu Bakr, a close companion of Muhammad, while Shia supported Ali, Muhammad's cousin and son-in-law. Theological and practical differences. This split has led to distinct religious practices, rituals, and leadership structures, which have evolved into the rich, diverse tapestry that characterizes Islam today. Cultural and scientific contributions. Golden Age of Islam. Between the 8th and 14th centuries, the Islamic world experienced a renaissance in science, medicine, mathematics, and philosophy. Figures like Al-Khwarizmi and Avicenna pushed boundaries in their fields, influencing both the Islamic world and the West. Art and architecture. Islamic contributions include distinctive architectural marvels like the Alhambra and the Dome of the Rock, renowned for their intricate beauty, as well as advances in art forms such as calligraphy and arabesque, reflecting Islam's aesthetic contributions. Literature and philosophy. Works such as Rumi's poetry and Al-Ghazali's theological treatises have offered profound insights into the human condition and the divine, enriching global literary and philosophical traditions. Modern Islam. Global presence. Islam's growth continues, with significant populations in the Middle East, Southeast Asia, Africa, and increasing numbers in Europe and America. This expansion is accompanied by a renaissance in theological thought, cultural expression, and political influence. Contemporary challenges. Today, Muslims face challenges related to identity, integration, extremism, and the impact of global geopolitics on their communities. These issues prompt vigorous debates on the interpretation of Islamic teachings in a modern context. Reflecting on Islam's journey from the deserts of Arabia to a major world religion highlights its dynamic, adaptable nature and its enduring impact on global stages. As it continues to evolve, Islam remains integral to the narrative of human civilization, offering insights into spirituality, community, and human progress. Sikhism, a monotheistic religion founded in the 15th century in the Punjab region of South Asia, stands today as the world's fifth largest religion. This exploration will introduce viewers to the life of Guru Nanak, the founder of Sikhism, and trace the development of the faith through its 10 successive gurus. The narrative will highlight Sikhism's core principles of community, equality, and justice, and explain the significance of its symbols like the turban and kirpan. The life and teachings of Guru Nanak. Early life and enlightenment. Guru Nanak was born in 1469 in what is now Pakistan. From a young age, he showed a deep spiritual inclination and a questioning nature, challenging the rituals and superstitions prevalent in both Hinduism and Islam. His enlightenment, described as a direct communion with God, led him to preach a faith that transcended religious divisions. Formation of Sikhism. Guru Nanak's teachings were revolutionary. He advocated the oneness of God and stressed the importance of living an honest life devoid of ritualism. His ideas were compiled into hymns, which later became part of the Guru Granth Sahib, Sikhism's holy scripture. Travels and disciples. Guru Nanak spent much of his life traveling across South Asia and the Middle East to spread his teachings. He gathered a diverse following, laying the foundation for a new, inclusive community that came to be known as the Sikhs. Successive gurus and the evolution of Sikhism. From Guru Angad to Guru Gobind Singh, after Nanak, 9 more gurus led Sikhism, each contributing to its spiritual and temporal development. Guru Angad developed the Gurmukhi script, which made the teachings of the Guru accessible to the common people. Guru Arjan, the 5th Guru, compiled the Adi Granth, the initial version of the Guru Granth Sahib. Formation of the Khalsa. The 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh, significantly shaped Sikh identity by founding the Khalsa in 1699, a collective body of initiated Sikhs. He introduced the 5 Ks, symbols worn by Khalsa Sikhs that include kesh, uncut hair, kara, a steel bracelet, kachera, cotton undergarments, kirpan, a ceremonial sword, and kangha, a wooden comb. Key principles of Sikhism. Community and service. Sikhs emphasize the importance of community and collective action. The concept of langar, a community kitchen found at every gurdwara, serves free meals to all visitors without distinction of religion, caste, gender, economic status, or ethnicity, embodying the principle of equality and communal harmony. Equality and justice. Sikhism strongly rejects caste, creed, and gender discrimination. From its inception, it advocated for the rights of the oppressed and promoted social justice, themes that are deeply embedded in its teachings and community practices. Focus on moral actions. Unlike many religions that emphasize belief, Sikhism places a greater emphasis on ethical living, honest labor, and good deeds. The faithful are encouraged to lead lives of virtue and to help others, reflecting the intrinsic values of love, compassion, and humility. Symbols of Sikhism. Turban. The turban, or dastar, is a key symbol of a Sikh's faith. It represents honor, self-respect, courage, spirituality, and dedication. The turban is also a symbol of equality, as it obscures social distinctions among individuals when worn by the masses. Kirpan. The kirpan symbolizes a Sikh's duty to protect the weak and uphold justice. It conveys religious obligation to combat oppression, aligning with the warrior ethos that is sometimes called upon in the defense of righteousness. Modern Sikhism. Global community. Today, Sikhism is practiced worldwide, with major populations in India, the United Kingdom, Canada, the United States, and Australia. Sikhs continue to be known for their strong sense of community, their commitment to social justice, and their entrepreneurial spirit. Challenges and contributions. The Sikh community faces various challenges, including issues of identity, especially in countries where wearing traditional symbols like the turban and kirpan might lead to misunderstandings. Despite these challenges, Sikhs have made significant contributions to the societies they are part of, especially in the realms of business, agriculture, and politics. Reflect on the journey of Sikhism from a simple spiritual path founded by Guru Nanak to a global faith practiced by millions. Emphasize how its teachings of devotion, justice, and community service continue to resonate globally, offering a unique perspective on religion and ethics in the contemporary world. A History of Taoism and Confucianism, Foundations of Chinese Philosophy. In the heart of ancient China, two philosophical traditions emerged that would profoundly shape Chinese civilization and continue to influence the world today: Taoism and Confucianism. Rooted deeply in the cultural, ethical, and social fabrics of Chinese society, these philosophies present distinct yet complementary views on life, governance, and human relations. This history explores the lives of their founders, Laozi and Confucius, their seminal texts, and the core tenets that underpin each doctrine. Furthermore, it examines their impact on governance, societal norms, and individual ethics, as well as their relevance in contemporary times. The origins and teachings of Taoism. Laozi and the Tao Te Ching. Taoism is traditionally attributed to Laozi, a figure shrouded in legend and mystery. It is believed that he lived during the 6th century BC, potentially as a contemporary of Confucius. Laozi is often portrayed as a wise sage who valued simplicity and harmony with nature. His teachings are encapsulated in the Tao Te Ching, a text composed of 81 short chapters that blend philosophy and poetry. The Tao Te Ching articulates the nature of the Tao, often translated as the way. The Tao represents the fundamental principle that underlies and unites all aspects of the universe. Unlike conventional deities, the Tao is not anthropomorphic, it is an indescribable force that permeates all existence. The text emphasizes living in accordance with the Tao, promoting a life of simplicity, spontaneity, and humility. Core tenets of Taoism. Taoism revolves around several key principles that define its worldview. The Tao, the ultimate reality and source of all things, transcending dualities and providing a framework for understanding the universe. Wu Wei, non-action. This principle advocates for action that aligns with the natural flow of life rather than against it. It encourages individuals to avoid forced efforts and instead respond spontaneously to the world around them. Simplicity and spontaneity. Taoism promotes an uncomplicated life, free from the complexities and pretensions of society. This simplicity fosters an appreciation for the natural state of being. Taoist practices. Taoism encompasses various practices designed to harmonize the individual spirit with the universe. These practices include meditation, a means of quieting the mind and aligning oneself with the Tao, facilitating personal insight and tranquility. Tai Chi, a physical practice that combines gentle movements and mindfulness, promoting physical health and spiritual balance. Feng Shui, an ancient practice of arranging the environment to promote harmony and balance, reflecting the Taoist principle of living in sync with nature. These practices serve to cultivate both personal energy, qi, and spiritual harmony, highlighting the interconnectedness of all life. Confucius and the foundations of Confucianism. Life of Confucius. Turning to Confucianism, we encounter Confucius, Kongzi, born in 551 BC in the state of Lu, present-day Shandong province. Confucius emerged during a period of social upheaval and moral decline in China, marked by political fragmentation and moral confusion. His life was characterized by a deep commitment to instilling virtues such as morality, propriety, and respect within the social fabric of his time. Confucius sought to revive the values of earlier dynasties, emphasizing ethical governance and the importance of moral character. He dedicated his life to teaching, gathering a following of disciples who would later compile his thoughts and dialogues into the Analects, a foundational text of Confucian philosophy. The Analects and Confucian teachings. The Analects illuminate Confucius's thoughts on ethics, politics, and morality, emphasizing several key themes. Personal ethics. Central to Confucian thought is the importance of personal integrity and moral uprightness. Confucius taught that a ruler must embody virtue to govern effectively, as moral leadership inspires trust and respect. Family and societal roles. Confucius placed great importance on familial relationships, advocating for respect within family structures and appropriate conduct in societal interactions. He articulated the concept of filial piety, emphasizing the duty of children to honor their parents and ancestors. Confucian virtues. 5 cardinal virtues form the core of Confucian ethics. Run, benevolence, the quality of compassion and kindness that should guide all human interactions. Righteousness, the moral disposition to do good and act justly, regardless of personal gain. Proper behavior, the adherence to rituals and customs that express respect and propriety, fostering social harmony. Knowledge, the understanding of right and wrong, essential for making ethical decisions. Integrity, the consistency between one's inner values and outward actions, ensuring trustworthiness. Comparative analysis, Taoism and Confucianism in Chinese society. Impact on governance and ethics. Taoism and Confucianism have both profoundly influenced governance and ethical frameworks in Chinese society. While Confucianism became the state philosophy, emphasizing a structured society based on hierarchical responsibilities, Taoism offered a more philosophical and ethical perspective that promoted balance and harmony with the natural world. Confucianism's emphasis on education and moral leadership provided a foundation for the bureaucratic systems of imperial China, where scholars became the ruling class. In contrast, Taoism's principles of simplicity and Wu Wei influenced leaders to govern with less interference, allowing for natural societal order. Cultural influence. Both philosophies have left an indelible mark on Chinese arts, literature, and cultural ceremonies. Taoist themes of nature and the mystical are often portrayed in poetry and painting, while Confucian ideals of order, structure, and morality are reflected in literature and statecraft. This interplay between the two traditions has enriched Chinese culture, contributing to a diverse tapestry of artistic expression. Modern relevance and global spread. In today's globalized world, Taoism and Confucianism continue to offer valuable insights. Their teachings resonate in discussions about environmental ethics, corporate governance, and personal well-being. The growing awareness of the interconnectedness of all life aligns with Taoist principles, while Confucian ideals of community and family continue to inform social dynamics. Reflecting on Taoism and Confucianism, we recognize that these are not merely ancient philosophies but living traditions that provide profound insights into the conduct of life and governance. Their teachings emphasize balance, ethics, and proper conduct, offering guidance for individuals and societies navigating the complexities of modern existence. As we engage with these philosophies, we find valuable wisdom that remains relevant in our pursuit of harmony and understanding in a rapidly changing world. Around the world, indigenous religions from Japan's Shinto to the spiritual practices of the Native American tribes, Aboriginal Australians, and various African communities share profound connections with the natural world and a deep reverence for ancestry. These belief systems, each unique yet often sharing common themes, have shaped not only spiritual lives but also cultural identities and societal norms throughout history. Shinto, Japan's indigenous faith. Origins and beliefs. Shinto, which translates to the way of the gods, is the indigenous faith of Japan. Characterized by its animistic beliefs, Shinto venerates kami, or spirits, which inhabit everything in nature, from wind and waterfalls to trees and rocks. This religion, deeply entwined with Japanese identity and daily life, lacks a single founding figure or canonical scriptures, which makes it uniquely integrated into the cultural fabric. Major kami and myths. At the heart of Shinto are numerous kami, with Amaterasu, the sun goddess, being paramount, especially for her mythical role in establishing Japan's imperial family. The Kojiki and Nihon Shoki are key texts that recount the mythical origins of the islands of Japan and the lineage of its gods and goddesses, providing a cosmic framework for Shinto beliefs and practices. Practices and rituals. Shinto rituals, including purification rites, offerings, and the vibrant Matsuri festivals, play a central role in honoring the kami. These rituals are performed in shrines that dot the Japanese landscape, serving as both spiritual centers and community gathering places, reflecting the architectural harmony with nature. Shinto and society. Shinto's principles permeate various aspects of Japanese life, influencing everything from sumo wrestling ceremonies, which incorporate rituals for purifying the ring, to modern environmental conservation efforts, underscoring the religion's ongoing relevance. Indigenous religions around the world. Africa's spiritual traditions. Across Africa, indigenous religions such as those practiced by the Yoruba, Zulu, and other communities emphasize ancestor worship and a deep connection with spiritual forces in nature. These religions include rituals aimed at protection, blessings for harvests, and community healing, demonstrating a dynamic interaction with the spiritual world. Native American spirituality. Native American religious practices are profoundly connected to the earth, featuring a rich tradition of animism and communal rituals. Ceremonies like the sun dance, potlatch gatherings, and the use of sweat lodges for purification highlight a culture deeply engaged with spiritual, communal, and ecological well-being. Australian Aboriginal beliefs. For Aboriginal Australians, the Dreamtime describes the world's creation and underpins the laws of community living and environmental stewardship. This cosmology is expressed through stories, art, and dance, which preserve and pass on the traditions and laws of Aboriginal society. Common themes in indigenous religions. Nature and ancestor worship. A common thread among indigenous religions is the reverence for nature and the honoring of ancestors, who are seen as integral to community identity and spiritual health. This reverence fosters a sustainable approach to environmental interaction and a robust framework for community solidarity. Rituals and festivals. Rituals and festivals mark significant life events, seasonal changes, and important communal activities, helping to maintain a balance between the spiritual and material worlds. These events are not only religious observances but also serve as community cohesion and cultural education moments. Cultural identity and adaptation. Indigenous religions contribute significantly to cultural identity and resilience, particularly in the face of globalization. Many communities are experiencing a revival of their native religions and integrating traditional beliefs with modern life, navigating the challenges of maintaining cultural integrity in a rapidly changing world. Reflecting on Shinto and various indigenous religions worldwide reveals their crucial role in shaping cultural identities, ethical values, and social norms. These religions emphasize harmony with the environment, respect for past generations, and the sacredness of community rituals, themes that offer valuable perspectives for global sustainability and cultural diversity discussions today. In an era marked by rapid societal transformation and increasing secularism, new religious movements have emerged, offering alternative spiritual perspectives. These movements, from Scientology to the Baha'i Faith, reflect diverse theological foundations and respond dynamically to modern challenges. This exploration will examine the factors driving the formation of these movements, their core doctrines, and their role in shaping the future of faith. The rise of new religious movements. Historical context and emergence. The 20th century witnessed unprecedented changes, technological advancements, globalization, and shifting social norms, which created fertile ground for new religious movements. These movements often arose in response to perceived deficiencies in traditional religions, offering new spiritual insights or revisiting ancient wisdom in a contemporary context. Key examples of new religious movements. Scientology, founded by L. Ron Hubbard in the 1950s, Scientology blends science fiction elements with self-help techniques and a detailed cosmology involving ancient intergalactic civilizations. The Baha'i Faith, emerging from the Babi faith in the 19th century Persia, the Baha'i Faith emphasizes unity of all human races and religions. Its teachings focus on social equality, education, and global governance. Neopaganism, including movements like Wicca, Druidry, and reconstructed polytheistic traditions such as Hellenism, Neopaganism revives and reinterprets pre-Christian, indigenous, or folkloric religious practices within a modern framework. What drives the formation of new religions? Societal gaps and spiritual needs. New religious movements often emerge during periods of significant social change or upheaval. They address gaps left by mainstream religions, appealing to those who seek more direct spiritual experiences, community, or answers to contemporary existential questions. Charismatic leadership. Many new religions have charismatic leaders who articulate a vision that resonates with the disenfranchised or those seeking clarity in a rapidly changing world. These leaders often play a pivotal role in the initial growth and doctrine formulation of the movements. Adapting to and challenging contemporary issues. Technology and globalization. New religious movements adeptly use modern technologies and global networks to spread their messages, recruit followers, and manage communities. This digital engagement helps them carve out unique niches within the global religious landscape. Social justice and environmental concerns. Many NRMs foreground social justice, environmental sustainability, and global peace, aligning their teachings with contemporary global issues. This relevance attracts younger generations more attuned to activism and planetary concerns. Challenges faced by new religious movements. Legitimacy and persecution. New religions often face skepticism and hostility from mainstream societies and governments. Issues of legitimacy, accusations of cultish behaviors, and legal battles over religious freedoms are common challenges they encounter. Internal dynamics and evolution. As they evolve, these movements confront challenges regarding doctrine flexibility, leadership succession, and maintaining core followers while appealing to broader audiences. The future of faith and new religious movements. Integration and influence. As global connectivity increases, new religious movements are likely to play significant roles in the religious tapestry, influencing social policies, ethical debates, and interfaith dialogues. Predictions and possibilities. The adaptability of NRMs to societal trends suggests that they will continue to evolve and possibly integrate more with mainstream religious frameworks, influencing broader spiritual and cultural paradigms. New religious movements are not merely footnotes in the history of world religions but are active participants in shaping the future of faith. Their growth reflects the dynamic nature of human spirituality and the continuous quest for meaning in an ever-changing world. By understanding these movements, we gain insight into the evolving landscape of religious belief and practice, and the perennial human endeavor to connect with the divine.